per game.
You average only 5 attempts?
That's all they would let me shoot. Hey, they would say, don't settle. We got to get good shots. Hit the big fella, cut off the big, get on the weak side, get a little split action. And then if the big throws it back out to you, then go ahead, you can shoot it. Now they say, if you can't shoot, you can't play.
So wait, you average 5. With the Knicks,
Yeah.
that was the most you averaged. Did you have more shooters with the Knicks?
Yeah,
I mean, Melo, obviously. And
yeah, Melo was shooting it. J.R. Smith was letting it go. And depending on the year, it was like Jay Lynn.
Lynn
Jeremy
Sanity.
was letting that thing fly a little bit. We had guys like Bibby and Jay Kidd. So we had some guys that were getting them up. We were the original high-volume three-point team. It was like right before Golden State started winning, so we consider ourselves trailblazers.
Sure. I like this. So wait, okay. What do you like more, Milwaukee or New York?
Hey, what kind of question is that? I mean,
No.
I'm from here, right?
Yeah.
This is home. Like, this is my team. I always say, like, this is my team. Whether
Yes,
I
sir.
played for them or if I worked for them or if whatever. The Bucks are I watched Michael Redd. I watched Ray Allen. I watched the George Karl 01 team with Big Dog and Sam Cassell. And so for me, those are like my early Milwaukee basketball memories where it was like, the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they're my squad. But obviously, when you have the experience you did in New York, for me, it was like that's where I played my best. I was able to prove myself. You were just on the phone with Grayson.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, Grayson, congrats on the contract.
Yeah.
He said, you said it's not about the money. It's about you got to prove who you are. You got to respect that money's not for what you're about to do. It's for what you've done. Like, for me, that was what New York was. It was like I knew I could play. I knew I could make shots. I knew I was a valuable piece. And Mike D'Antoni was like, we shoot it. We play with pace. We got to have spacing. Yes. And if you didn't make shots, he was like, we're going to lose. And if we make them, we're going to win. And he was like, what you do matters. So for me, New York is a special place for so many reasons, playing at the Garden. But because I felt like be who I always knew I was. So, you're grateful.
You know what's my best memory? Just watching you play. And I haven't seen, watch a lot of games, but just your highlights and watch you score a 3 and they do this and they score a 3. But how did this come out? Like, what was the
belt?
Yeah.
Man, it was. So I never expected to, like when you would see guys do celebrations after they shot, I was like, come on, like that's kind of, I don't know about.
Yeah.
But you also know, as a guy who's been on multiple teams, when you play a team that you've been on, you always got a little something extra. Like you want to prove them wrong. Like you shouldn't have cut me. You shouldn't have waved me. You shouldn't have traded me. You disrespected me. You didn't think I was good enough, whatever. Yeah. It was a Sunday afternoon game. I'll back up a little bit. So our security guard with the Knicks, he was always saying like, he knew I was a Packer fan. Yeah. He was always like, Aaron Rodgers is out here throwing, slanging touchdowns, and he's doing the belt.
Yeah.
He was like, when you shoot threes and make big ones, you should do the belt. I was like, come on, man, stop it. Like, I'm low key. I don't.
Yes.
And then I don't know what happened. Sunday afternoon, we're playing the Dallas Mavericks. The year before, Dallas had released me.
Yes.
So I was kind of in my feelings a little bit, and you're like, I'm gonna show them, I'm gonna make shots, and it wasn't even on bad terms. But you just got that ego.
Yeah, of course. You're motivated. You got the extra energy in your body, like your battery pack. You got like that.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was feeling good, and I made a couple shots, and then it comes second half. And it was like Jason Terry was guarding me, and he wasn't close enough, and I let it fly. And then Jay Kidd was guarding me, and he wasn't close enough, and I let it fly. And then I remember I made one on like the left side of the court, and I just remember thinking, uh-oh, I think I got to do the belt. I'm kind of feeling myself right now. And I just heard the conversations like, you should do the belt if you hit a big 3. And I said, uh-oh, and it just came out. I said, I don't know what just happened. And the belt was born, and then it was – everybody loved it, so I was like, I guess I'm just going to keep.
Now, it's signature. Everybody, it's I don't know, it's just part of the culture. If people just love it, then you just do it. Then it just becomes a thing.
I felt like it wasn't my belt. Like, I did it because I was a Packer fan, a Rodgers fan, but then it was like, I did it and was like, uh-oh, I don't know what I did. But then it was like, we loved it. You got to keep doing it.
Yeah,
like,
you own it now in the NBA. It's yours in the NBA. You own it. So, man, okay, do you think – good example, right? Because we talk about shooting and stuff like that. Who did you look up to? Like, did you always say, like, I want to be a shooter? I'm going to be a shooter, and I'm going to knock down 3s and 2s, and just like, or you was like, sure, were you the guy like, I don't like physical contact. I don't want to go into the paint. Like, what was your game? Because people are different. I've asked different shooters that said like different things.
For me, it was like I can't even explain it. Like, so I grew up with my pops in the gym at Brown Deer High School. And he would have practice on one end of the court, and I would be on the other end of the court with my ball, probably shooting the men's ball, and I was probably 6, 7, 8 years old, and I just wanted to have the ball in my hands and shoot. And I just think back to like that time where it's like, man, I didn't want to do the Mikan drill. I didn't want to do post moves. Like I was down there shooting it from as far away as I could, making 1 out of 30 going like, let's go. Like I'm the guy, I'm having fun. And so I think like to me, that was where it was born. And I just became obsessed with shooting. I think it was something really therapeutic for me where like when I would shoot, I feel like, you know, when you cut the lawn, how you get done and you're like, I never really thought I would be a guy who like, I love to mow the lawn. Yeah. But when you get done, it looks so good. You feel like you did something and you get to go do it again in like a week and you feel so good again. That's what shooting was for me. I felt like you got to make or miss every one, and every time it went in, it felt good. And after you were done working out, you feel like you accomplished something. And then you got to come back again and do it the next day. And it was something weird where you're like, I don't know why it's so satisfying, but I just love shooting. And so I was always tall. My pops never was like, get your back to the basket, you got to post up. Yeah. So I was thankful. He always let me shoot it. And like, I knew at that time, big fellas were supposed to be bigs. You're supposed to be posting up and get the rebound and keep the ball high.
And be physical and everything.
Man, it wasn't what called me. You know, and I credit my pops. He was like, you go ahead and you like shooting that thing, shoot it, and we'll figure it out from here. You know, and so I just kept, I take great pride in like when I look at the top 10 3-point percentage list, I take great pride in the fact that like I'm the tallest guy, top 10. Yeah. Because a lot of great shooters, you know, but like as far as like the highest percentage, for me, I always think I'm so glad my pops was like, you can be tall and shoot it, go ahead. Yeah. Because then the game adapted and the game changed and everything flipped. And it was like, everything flipped. And if I hadn't been shooting it, I couldn't have been a big. I'm still the same weight as I was when I played 215. Yeah. Oh, who was I going to guard in the post? You know?
It would be hard. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. It would be hard.
Yeah. I wasn't going to wrestle the big fellas, but now all the big fellas are shooting it too.
So I'm shooting too, yeah. They're shooting too. So if you were born, let's say 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you'd probably be in the Steph Curry era, right? The shooting from deep, right? Or the Damian Lillard era. I'm like, oh no, one dribble off half court, right? Gone, let it fly. But question is like, what do you think about that? Do you think, because you know you have debates all the time, like, oh my God, Steph ruined basketball. I disagree, but whatever. Oh my God, Steph changed basketball. Yes, he did. Yeah, change basketball. Like, what's your what do you think?
Yeah, I think to me it's so interesting because I think in the beginning people were saying like, oh look, everybody's shooting threes, and that was the case. And you saw teams that didn't have the personnel to actually shoot the threes, still shooting the threes. They were coming up, they were shooting quick ones. You were like, man, this isn't good basketball, and it's not sustainable. Yeah. And so I think not only did you see like the rules change within the game, whereas to me the biggest difference is when you look at the rules in the NBA specifically, 15, 20 years ago, the court was this big because they allowed hand checking. They allowed a lot more physicality. The three-point shot wasn't very valuable. So the game was played much closer to the hoop. And now you fast forward to 2023, 24, the court is this big. And so all of a sudden, I remember when I was with the Clippers, we started changing our coverages against the Golden State Warriors. And they said, no matter where on the court Steph gets a screen and roll, we want you to go over the top of the screen. And you were like, what do you mean, like at half court? If we get screened, you want us to go? Because, you used to go under. Like, I'll dare him to shoot it. We'll just see. But then Golden State started making so many shots, you went, man, if we go under and they're banging down all these shots, we got no chance. We can't even keep up. Yes.